stuff is spinning. It says connect streaming software to start preview. Click here. Oh, it says live. Oh, okay. Are we live?
We're live as of now?
Apparently. I don't know if I buy that, but okay. Hold on, let me just go to YouTube. We're gonna do some checking on the software. Because I
Checking.
don't check it out. Oh, we are live.
No way.
Yeah. Let me edit this live stream content because it just says live stream, which is kind of stupid. It should say something better, like design credit. Exclamation point. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, we have 0 viewers.
Hey.
How do I go back to the video? Somehow I lost it. Hold on. I'll send you a link too. It's
Maybe that's how
recommend.
I'll watch you through the live link.
Well, I don't know if I'm on the live link.
Well, what are you seeing on the live link?
I see my screen and a rectangle, and half of that rectangle is you, and the other half
Oh,
is a
wow.
black rectangle. Oh, there we go. There's a link if you want to see. There's a slight
Got it.
delay, of course, but so it might get you real confused.
I don't see you. It's just my face and the screen.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a
Oh
nice
yeah,
delay.
there's some mega delay. I heard your voice over it, and I was like, wait, didn't we just talk about this?
Deja vu. Okay, well, here we go. Oh, there's 2 people watching this. Okay, I guess we'll start this radio. I'm gonna close this link so I don't get distracted by the audio because that's gonna be mad confusing. Um, cool. Okay, so trying out this live design crit thing here, Albert. Thanks for playing along. So
Yeah.
there's some folks online, which I'm guessing maybe those 2 people are, um, submitted some things for us to review. So in Figma you can see it. So there's 2 URLs and then this graphic in the middle. Do you have any particular place you want to start? I can bring it up on screen. So if you want me to, I can bring up their sites. You just tell me where you want to start. What are your thoughts?
So hold on a sec. Still getting used to this live stuff. So the Figma we're watching is your screen. We're seeing me, and we're
Yep.
not seeing your face, correct?
Yes, this is accurate. All of what you said is accurate.
Great. I had to double check.
But yeah, I
All right.
can. If you want me to bring up I guess I can try and screenshot the site and put it in here, or we can just look at the site
Yeah,
in
let's look at it
browser.
live. I opened it up on my machine.
Okay, I'll pull it over then too, so it'll show up in the feed. So here we go. Okay, I got the site open. These are nice graphics. I like these illustrations.
I see. So I guess the challenge here is because I can't see your screen, I'm not able to talk right alongside you, which is a challenge. That's all
Hold on, unless I can share screen in Skype simultaneously.
right. Give that a shot.
Uh, Share screen. Settings, permission. Okay, we'll give it permission. Share screen. Skype. Oh, Skype has to close to do this later. Let's see what happens. Share screen. Can you see a screen? Let's see. Do you see a screen?
Yes, actually I do.
Sweet. Okay, then this will work. I think this will work as we intend. So here we go. You can see me scrolling.
Uh, wait. Yes, I see you scrolling. I see your mega widescreen
Sweet.
website on the left, Figma on the right.
Awesome. Okay, that's working as we intended. Okay, cool. So I guess, yeah, just these graphics are nice. I like these illustrations. I like this style. I like this subtle detail of like the tree peeking in front of the lettering. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
nice. Hold on, let's read the description. That's a good thing. Looking to improve portfolio, messaging, layout, project count, types of projects, etc. Looking to get hired by an agency open to branding, illustration, packaging design, motion design, etc. Okay,
Okay.
so lots of good stuff there.
Right off the bat, I definitely get an illustration vibe just because it's so illustration heavy. Obviously, it's kind of like a mixture blend between classic vector art, but also a more soft paintbrush style blend
Yep,
on that.
yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I think there's some nice piece there. I think I I like this little intro. It's kind of nice. I'm curious what the when we get to the work. So we'll scroll. Oh, that's a nice like weird nice parallax. Um, this is who I am, graphic
Uh,
designer and illustrator. Okay, that matches to like the aesthetic we're seeing. Here we go. I guess this is him. This is some nice Photoshop work to get the lighting to work on a Soto, like all
Let me bring
around.
up some of the contents on my screen here to look at the detail.
Oh, in terms of the phrasing.
Yeah, yeah, because I noticed Brody wanted to look at some of the tone and language as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Have the created skill to help you tell your story. Yes. Yeah, this is nice. I mean, I like this. Like, there's attention to detail here, which is nice between his photo, these sort of shapes around him that I guess he's juggling,
Mm-hmm.
and the like cave atmosphere, where like the orange is
Yeah.
reflected and like it's glowing and it's hitting the cave and it's hitting his shoulder and the side of his face. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's nice lighting detail, which I appreciate. Um,
Absolutely.
let's go on a quest. The creative journey strategy informs ideas. Ideas turn into magic. Magic turns heads. Interesting. Okay. I almost want to see like there's like a decent amount of text here. I almost want to see it blown up a little bit more and had more playful nature to it. Like pull out a couple words, do something more visual with it. I feel like that would fit
Mm-hmm.
this vibe a little bit better. Like if you're gonna do something magic, can you do like a little, I don't know, CSS animation or put like a little magic wand emoji or something that makes it like more fun? Because it seems like that fun vibe and illustration vibe is like in the rest of this. So I almost want to see that brought to this description.
Yeah, and maybe another way to accomplish this, which as we keep scrolling down, it has this kind of story element pairing with the image. If you expanded on this section a bit more to quote unquote tell your story, I mean, obviously you do more so at the bottom, but at least with this description, it could be pretty nice.
Yeah, that could be good. Okay, I'm gonna keep scrolling down.
Yeah. I like the
Let's.
play on words of shaping your story, and here you are juggling a bunch of shapes.
Oh yeah, no for sure. Yeah, that's nice too. Okay, I'm gonna keep scrolling. Let's breathe fire into your project. Okay. Oh, here's this nice dragon illustration. This is a really nice illustration. I like these illustrations.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay. Featured work.
Ooh,
Sacred
interesting.
Summit. What's interesting?
I would say what caught me real quick was the transition between your illustrative style and then now all of a sudden we get into your hyper realistic photography.
Oh yeah.
Which is, they're both nice, and I like that you're still using the illustration style. For example, under Sacred Summit Chocolate, like we still see the illustration style here. So there's quote unquote a transition to using real imagery, but the whole kind of distracted by the large nut on the left, to be honest.
The cacao pod.
Yes, the cacao.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm also curious, like, so this is a branding and packaging piece. This is I guess a UI UX piece. What's some more? And then we go to logos and marks, and then we
Yeah.
kind of scroll down to brand identity and packaging design. I wonder why these were the four he picked. But anyways, I guess we can maybe I'll click more work and see if we get a grid or something of all of them. It's loading up. Okay, so we get this intro again. I feel like we don't need this graphic once again at the top once I've hit more. Like we've already experienced this sort of
Yeah.
piece. I almost want this to be more at the forefront, like these projects, because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
guess,
what if the page just started where it had the my work section? Like
yeah, yeah,
scroll
like
up and stop right
just
there.
get
Like
rid of
no,
this.
scroll down
Yeah, it should start
and stop like
like
right
here.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree. I think that's a better fit, because then I can jump in right away and see this. Because I guess, like
Exactly.
speaking of who's looking at this, it's an agency or whatever, these recruiters tend to spend, and this is basically the same one I've done hiring too, is we look at the resume. I guess this is my process. I've looked at the resumes, take a quick breeze through, and like how are the questions in the application answered. Secondary, I look at the
Hmm.
resume, see how well that was designed because these are design roles. I expect the resume to be designed just as well as the website or your projects. And
Right.
then from there, explore the portfolio a little bit. And normally I want to jump right into the work. So it took me a little bit longer on this. I mean, I know there was a narrative being discussed, but it took me a while to get here, which may be detrimental to some folks looking at it versus others who want to spend less time versus more time. So,
There's definitely a balance play to be had with regards to showing all of the journey and illustration work on the quote unquote landing page and then transitioning the viewer to the work page.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's click in. I'm going to click in. So the other interesting thing is I don't know how these are sorted, but the featured ones are scattered throughout, not at the top, which is sort of interesting. So I must wonder like how they were pictured, if it was a like wide range of work or most in-depth work or something. I don't know. But I clicked this
Yeah, maybe
one.
it's his favorites.
Yeah, maybe. I click this. Let's see what this one's about. Night Swim Radio. So the client role, creative director, team freelance. Okay, minor thing. I would just align these vertically. Like align this section to the top of this. This weird white space bothers me a little bit, but I don't know if it bothers you, Alvar.
Oh, sorry, I'm still looking on my screen here. What are you
Oh,
saying?
this where it says client here, this section, and then
Yeah,
this section, just top align this to the top line of this. Just like get rid of this
yeah.
white
I
space
mean
here.
that would be nice. I'm not completely bothered by that, but it's definitely something that
Yeah, just some minor thing.
yeah.
Nice graphic here. The logo, let's see. The logo of this communication is based on existing branding. So the
Okay,
goal is to connect between music, charity, as the project. Okay,
makes sense.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
I
I
I
guess
like it.
you like this project?
Yeah, I know. I said I like it because again, you tell the intro on the client project, what the goal was, a little bit of the actual process, and you showed it's pretty image heavy, which is great because that's the kind of work output you're doing anyways on this kind of work. So it's all illustrations. You get to easily see all of the variations you have there without being too bogged down by process text, which a
Yeah,
lot of quote unquote research heavy designers can get pretty busy with.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think my only comment would be would love to see some of the process imaging that we're on. Like if you played with the logos or the backgrounds or like the formats and that kind of thing to show a little bit of more like because you're so image heavy is like how did you actually come up with these final results? That might be of interest to build that story.
That's true. Yeah, maybe some screens with a bunch of iterations on it,
Yeah.
if that is part
Yeah, that could be of interest. I think maybe that's less so the case for like depending on the kind of agency, right? Because that's the goal here. Some of them might not care
Hmm.
as much
Hmm.
because their output is just like here's the thing and they pass it off. But some agencies are
Yep.
very much process driven, so they would definitely appreciate such a thing.
At least I would say enough to show what maybe even what kind of tool you might be using so that they know what kind of training they'd have to bring you on for or see if you're a good match for their existing process for design work.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, we'll look at another project and then we'll look at, I guess, the about and contact page.
Yeah.
So this is the Sacred Summit, the one on the featured section. Are these supposed to have images in them? I don't know. Um,
Oh yeah, you're not seeing anything? Let me check mine. This
I'm
might
not
be a
seeing.
web browser challenge.
Maybe.
Let me open up.
Let's do a little inspect elements here.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, other thing, test across all browsers.
Wait, are you seeing an image here?
I'm not, but uh,
I would imagine there's supposed to be an image here. Okay, so let's imagine there's some
I don't see
images
anything.
here.
I don't see Chrome and anything in Chrome either.
Okay. Yeah, so little thing, just check your pages. It's always good. Web's complicated and wacky, so just do a little QA, if you will, a little quality check. So we'll imagine, I guess, based on this, the logo. There's some iterations or some logo variants in this section, is my guess. We'll just keep moving. These photos are nice. I like the context in which these were taken. So like chocolate bars on a bunch of shells and nuts. I'm guessing beans, cocoa beans. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, that's nice. Simple graphic.
Hmm. High quality, which is great.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep scrolling. Bean to bar. Oh, that's nice. So it's like a farm to table, but it's the chocolate equivalent.
Yeah.
That's nice. Custom chocolate molds. Interesting. Okay,
Neat. I
so
like
yeah,
it. It's consistent.
it's consistent. I think same comments as before. I would love to see more of the process stuff, especially if you guys actually made these molds. Like, was your design influenced by the fact that you had to mold something, and like you had to simplify this graphic? Because this graphic here is simpler than the one on the box, right? Like you simplified the lines a little bit more, they're straight, whatever, because molding is a very different technique than printing. So I think
Yeah.
that would be of interest to like showcase, hey, these are the challenges we had. If you actually made this, if this is a render, then like I get it, then no worries.
Right. Right.
Um, but that could be some interesting narrative to be like, look, it's a multi-modality sort of piece that I had to work through. So
Hmm. Hmm.
okay, let's see. We'll go back to all works.
Yeah. Although I'm reading here for Brody that he has also a bunch of UI work that just hasn't been uploaded yet. So perhaps we should look at one of those to see how it compares to the more illustration work.
Yeah, let's do it. Should we do? I guess we can do the this one that he had on his featured.
Yeah.
A national recognized marketing expert and speaker came up with a need for a modern, user-friendly site. The goal is to create a platform that helps her engage with people and share her ideas and strategies in a clean, simple way. Okay, let's take a look. I guess first thing, I guess I'm guessing this was intentional. I don't know if it's necessary, but like the white versus the light gray on this logo, um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it like just make it white. I would say one color, because I don't know
Looks
if it's
intentional.
adding. It looks intentional. Well, my guess is because it's like a P and a D, like capital P, lowercase d, and that's sort of the image that's trying to be represented.
Well, also look if you scroll down on the actual UIs he has in three-quarter view, the logo itself is two-tone,
Oh,
so
it's
it's
two
probably just
colors
a
there.
translation of that into grayscale.
Yeah, yeah, I would probably just do a one color and a full color rather than a grayscale.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, what's this video? The logo pulsing and animating. Oh, web page. Okay.
Is the quality on that good? I did the pulsating logo was
Yeah,
pretty blurry.
I didn't, the pulsating logo was there. I don't really know what the objective of the pulsating logo was, but that's okay. I mean, this design is pretty clean. I want to see the site though. Some of these animations, if they're in the actual product, I don't know if, or in the actual site, I don't know if they're all needed, but let's take a look. Icon set, yeah, that's nice. Clean, they look consistent, they sort of play together.
Hmm.
Um, they seem like they're from the same family, so that's good. You have this sort of cross member, I don't know what you call this oblique angle. Um, simple, consistent throughout the page.
Transition lob.
Yeah, some lobs there. I almost like I want to see this as a full page.
Yeah, like just one continuous scroll.
Yeah, I would almost blow up sections of this too. So I think, I mean, look, I think this is consistent. I think it's clear what the message is here. Like you made a personal site for this one individual. I get it. Um, you seem to have this footer buffer, a little bio, some of the services and things that this person does. Totally makes sense. I think it's pretty clear. I think again, I
Hmm.
would want to see some iteration and process. And like, what were the challenges? What were the pieces that were more standout than others? Because you talk about just the visual side, but I think talking about the other piece of like information architecture, like what was the format, why was it important to build this narrative in this order. Some of those components would help bolster sort of the UI UX side of your work rather than the sort of graphic illustration work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to about. Let's see what's on here.
Hey,
Also, are these like really big images or something? Because there's always that loader, and I feel like I don't know if we need that loader. I might want to just do a little check on that because I am on a pretty fast network, but that doesn't mean everybody is. And if I'm getting a
so
loader,
wait,
it
what
might.
happened?
If you like load the page up,
Yeah.
you get like a loader, this loader
Oh yeah,
bubble
I had
thing
that too. Yep, I had
for
that.
a couple seconds, and I don't know why. Like, are these images that heavy, or is it just being pushed in there as a design choice? I don't know. But if it's
Right.
not needed, get rid of it. Okay, so this is a
So this
section we
this is
read.
a repeat.
Yeah, this is the same section. Oh, it literally just takes you to that section on the
Uh,
homepage.
okay, so this makes sense. This is the main critique I had regarding the navigation. The only way to get to to the tiles of your work is to scroll all the way down. You can't even get there from the top right navigation, which I thought I could as a visitor. So if there's
Yeah,
a way to actually get to that tile, to get to the tiled page of works through the top right button, um, it would be nice. Like I get you're trying to go with the navigation style of the continuous scroll on the home page, but by combining both kind of design navigation styles, I would make them flow together a bit easier. So they're
yeah,
not.
I'm with you on that. The navigation's a little funky. I almost want to say that this section here, this what I'm going to call the footer, I would
Yeah.
take these links and I would shrink it in the footer and make it like a more minimal footer and put this stuff here, but then also take the same information and put it in your about section. Like between hi, I'm Brody and here's my little description about myself, I'd almost put it here too. Because if I've
Yeah.
bought into your like story and I'm gung ho, like okay, let me see where else I can find you on the internet. Like maybe you
Hmm.
post some other stuff on Dribble or Instagram. That I want to put those together. So,
Right.
and I would say you can either, especially if you want to add another project of your work, you could put your web page, designing your website as a project on your website, right? Like that was an inherent piece of work that you did.
Yeah. A little meta design project is.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So if we click on the contact, right, it goes right to the get in touch. So
yeah,
the
it
only
gets, yeah.
opportunity it sounds like to get off of your continuous scroll navigation is by clicking the more work option.
Yep. I almost wonder if rather than having that featured project in those four really full width columns, is if
Mhm.
is if the projects were, you could maybe still make it, maybe you just take the first four and you put them as the first 3 or 4 tiles and then give a gap or just continue them down, because I want to see like a
All on the
breadth of
same.
work. Yeah, like
Yeah. I
it's
mean, as any recruiter, I mean, you and I both, Rayhan, have looked at design applicants, and at least from my experience, I quickly go to I want to see their full list of work pretty quickly,
yeah, same.
and
Because
it
this
takes
is
a bit to get there.
yeah, I mean this is like a good way to view, right? Like okay, so we got some packaging, we got some web, we got some logo type of stuff, we got some packaging, we got some logo, we got some illustration. Like I get that based on the work that's presented here. So then I can better gear what I'm looking for or the types of questions I need to follow up on that kind of thing. So, yeah.
And here's another weird interaction piece, Rayhan. Go up to the right, and just don't scroll up, but click on the work button. It'll reorient your scroll, but it does that on both the home page and this, which kind of breaks the consistency of where
Oh,
that
no,
should lead.
that is weird.
Yeah,
Oh, where'd that go?
because if I click the about, it brings me back to the home page where it's a scroll navigation. But if I click the work on that, it just kind of reshuffles things around.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's a good catch. Yeah, you might want to do something with that. Um, yeah.
I'm a fan of the navigation.
Yeah, the navigation's a little messy. I also, I mean, side note, I really like this BW, the logo, and it's like this really small thing in the call out in the corner. You can
You
call it
mean
out
top
more.
left?
Yeah. Like it's nice
Yeah,
and clean.
it
You
is.
could
It is super.
you, you could use it more formally in like a notation of you. I don't know what your resume or cover letter or anything will look like on that, but you could make it more prominent as a this is my identity, because your header is like sort of non-existent. Like header, footer, those type of elements you could bolster a little bit more. What does this do? Oh, bring to top. And I get it because you're trying to do this full hero thing, but maybe giving that identity a little bit more of like your brand and then your work might be a nice way to do it. Because right now it's like the brand is illustration.
Right.
So
On
okay.
another note, I like the sorting under the my work section of
Oh, these yeah.
categories. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, these are nice. I think the oh, what was the other one? I think the only thing that is a little strange is like when you have a category with just one thing. Um, I almost wonder if you could simplify these categories into
Web and app design together, maybe.
yeah, I would
Well,
say
yeah,
like
you have app design is under web design, so why have a separate category for that?
yeah, I would probably just say like UI UX and then like probably packaging and
The motion graphics also has one piece that is on under the web design
yeah.
section.
I mean like these three I would probably just collapse. Web,
Yeah,
app, and motion.
unless you have explicit other projects that are purely focused on motion, then keep that category. But as of now, it doesn't make too much sense.
Right. Yeah. I
Especially,
agree.
yeah,
Okay. I mean, I think that's all I have to say. Thanks, Brody. Hope this helps.
yeah. I mean, overall, it feels great. Yeah, again, just the big piece is how can I see all the work faster? 'Cause
Yep,
it's tough, tougher journey for me to get there.
for sure. Okay, I guess
Cool.
I'll pull up the other web page since we're on the web page sort of vibe, and then we'll go to this graphic afterwards. Oh, hold on. Where's that URL?
Oh, I see.
graphic and UI designer. I have more UI work to upload. Junior in college. Want to see how I'm doing so far in terms of design. Cool. Okay. So very clear intro here. It's like who I am, graphic and UI designer based in New York. Cool. Let's scroll. Wait, that's it.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought there was more to scroll for.
Yeah, I did too. I was like scrolling, nothing. Okay, that's a bit strange. Um, okay. So first things first, like, if this green is your brand color, great. I almost want to say that this font doesn't feel like picked, like hand picked. It might have been, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like that just by just this one thing being here. Like, if you're going to leave this as your intro page, I would want to see a little bit more type treatment. Sort of in the same vein that you have your logo here, this kind of in a rectangle. Bless you. Um, like that was intentional. You changed the leading and such so that these all lined in a grid. I almost want to see that formal nature happening here because it feels a little odd just by itself.
And right off the bat, when I'm looking for UI designers and graphic designers, like I need something that sets me apart, and I don't really feel that here. The only thing that really sets you apart here is your top right Henry icon logo.
Yeah.
That's that's different, that's new, that's fine. But another thing that you can play with here is the actual text you choose to display on the first page we see, right? So right now all we have is, I know your name and I know you're a graphic UI designer, but do you have any actual, so you're a junior, do you have any industries you want to focus on? So are you a UI graphic designer who wants to focus on healthcare tech or on education or on wearable technology? If you have any of those aspirations, find a way to represent that in a sentence or two on the first page. It would be nice to read.
Yep. No, I agree. I think that's a good call.
And there is the who is Henry on the top, right? If I click that.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Again, so this provides. I had a similar feedback for another applicant of mine a few months ago, actually. So you have a really good way of making it personal and playful. You have your name, you say where you are, you give a little bit of personality of where you came from, that you have a sneaker collection, all of that. I know you love fashion and streetwear. That's great. I got to know you as an individual, but give me a bit more as you from a career path, as in what industries do you want to apply your UI design and graphic design in fashion? Great. Be more specific about that so that me as a recruiter, I'll know, okay, you have, I know you have the love for that, but is that the industry you want to apply your graphic work?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good call out because if it is the industry you want to go to, right, it helps the recruiter know and base their ideas in the work because not all the skills are identical, and if you have a little bit stronger in one than the other, you can make that match a little simpler. So, yeah, totally. This is a nice call out about yourself, but are those things you want to do professionally? Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Okay, let's look at the portfolio. Okay, nice clear tiles. A lot of graphics work.
Simple at work.
Simple imaging. This looks like this whatever this mountain thing is looks like the NordVPN logo. I don't know if you know that logo, Albert, but that's what it looks like.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, these are interesting.
So every YouTuber and friend has been sponsored by them.
Yeah, basically. Interesting that these two projects are for the same identity, but they're separate. So, anyways, okay, let's start at the top. I'm gonna click this one.
Yeah.
Interpretation of the Cyberpunk project. Okay. These are some nice renderings.
Yep. Good images. This is interpretation of the Cyberpunk. I would like a little more context. I still don't know what this is for as a fresh viewer who's not familiar with the Cyberpunk project.
Yeah.
or anything related. To me, all I get from this is you've done a lot of really nice graphic work and applied it to renderings for print, and that's about
Yep.
it.
Yep. No, I'm with you, Albert. I clicked this link that's at the bottom, which I guess is the
Read
full.
more?
There's a book. The entire book is on issue,
Oh yeah,
um,
I see it. Yep.
which is I would just iframe it in, like embed it, because I don't
Could be
want to
cool.
click this, and maybe put it towards the top. But I think that context that Albert's talking about is good too, because this is like here's the full context of the work, but these are nicer renders that you have on here. So I would
Hmm.
almost just embed it. Don't just put the link here because I'm probably not going to click it in most cases.
Right.
I'll just miss it as I scroll through. Interactive poster. Okay. The other thing I noticed, all your text is image. They're not actual text in this site. I don't know what site builder you're using if you are.
Oh,
We'll
interesting.
take
Yeah.
we'll take a quick look. Let's see if I can find out what it is. Squarespace. Okay, so you're using Squarespace. It has decent type functions. I would put the text in text form, not only because it's better for legibility, but if I'm on mobile and whatever, it scales properly. The text is text. If
Hmm.
I'm for accessibility reasons, right? Like I don't see the imaging. Like if you need a screen reader, something that actually reads all the words, like I can't read this image. Those kinds of things. And for SEO, for search engine optimization, so like Google can find you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
These are all reasons you should put text as text and images as images. So just a sort of implementation issue, something to think about. That's my
Hmm.
recommendation.
Yep. That absolutely makes sense. Would agree on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, like you did it here. Like you have your text as text here. So just do the same thing with all your text. Um, Again, I think same thing that Albert said previously. A little bit more context. I don't really know what I'm trying to capture here. Um, it's an interactive poster for the Met, but like, what's the goal here? Like, it interacts with this piece of art or this installation because X, Y, Z. Like this seemed like the best type of work to represent them because of dot dot dot. Like, is that
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Just
like a little
the
bit
more
more?
actual textual content.
Yeah,
And even if you took that phrase at the bottom, put that towards the top, and elaborate with a sentence or two, that'd help me out understand a bit more of why and where you're doing this.
yep, yep. And if you built this interactive object, it would be nice to link out to that if it exists actual in
Yeah. Yeah.
link out to it. That would be nice too, or what the iterations were again, just to see a little bit of process. I'm a big fan of that. So
Yeah.
okay, so branding, colors. I think one of your color codes hex values got jammed in here in the Futura section. So just a little thing to check when you upload images. Just double check these elements.
I'm guessing that
I,
happens. Copy, global paste, no Illustrator.
yeah, exactly. Again, I want to see like I feel like however this was packaged for I guess I'm guessing your course. Um, it was probably a booklet or a poster or something. I want to see it more integrated into this web page. Yes, it takes a little bit extra
Yes, it
time,
takes a
but
little bit extra time.
the value's there. Like,
Yeah.
do I need this header graphic thing and this footer thing on this image? No, I just need the image. Like, I know where we are at this
Right.
point. And like, can we put the fonts and the color side by side as two elements? Like, you're using the grid in Squarespace, like on a desktop screen. Put them side by side. Let them be more pronounced. The blue isn't really adding value here. I think text is text, so a better integration with your site would add value. Um,
100%.
Especially since you want to do UI work. It says, hey, I know how to build both for print and for web, right? Those are
Hmm.
things that are key, and you have to build them differently. They're not identical. So
I mean, and again, once again, to reiterate, I'm missing the context here of what this was for and why it was done. in
Yeah.
text off the page.
Yeah.
We just kind of go in, and this is just kind of like a drag and drop of screenshots of the work, which has its place, but it's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. Back to here. Okay. Maybe we'll look at one other one.
Yeah.
Fruit Fusion. I'm kind of curious what that is.
Show you the illustration work, similar style guide.
Yeah. Again, I'm curious. Like, there's this one floating thing, little detailing piece there, right? So,
Yeah, where's that coming?
well, it's the green. It's the hex value for green.
Oh, yeah,
So
yep.
that's sort of interesting. I also noticed this is really minor, but like you put hashtags on this one, and on the other one you didn't put hashtags. You just put the hex value.
Hmm.
Small consistency thing, especially when you're sharing this with folks that may not inherently know what this means. The hashtag is a little bit of a differentiator, like a little bit of a clarity piece versus just 6 characters. Um,
Right.
Nice image. Yeah, I think context, same stuff, same as what Albert said. This is nice. So this package cutout, like, oh, this is
Hmm.
how the frame works. This is how we ended up doing it. Um,
This kind of stuff you can grid out. You don't have to have a continuous piece, but it looks
yeah,
like it's one image.
yeah, yeah,
So when you prep that image, you have so much white space on the sides that
yeah,
might as well just make it like a row of those three versus a column of three.
yep, totally, totally, I agree.
And I'd say, ditch that gradient at the bottom.
Yep,
Unless that's a full page element, it doesn't make sense when it's embedded within an image that you put in there.
yep. No, I would agree. Let's go to extras, see what's there.
Extra. What's that?
So I guess these are just like one-off pieces. That's what it sort of reads like.
My guess would be that Henry made this and that you made this, Henry, but I am not 100% sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
That's
would imagine the
fair.
same thing, but maybe a little header here of like, hey, here's some one-off projects that I've been working on here and there.
Exactly.
Nothing formal, just a thread of constant work or whatever, something to that effect.
Right. Right. Yeah. These are miscellaneous illustration pieces or graphic pieces that I did throughout my years.
Yeah,
Some
something
more
simple.
content. I've been
Yeah,
repeating myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's work. Let's click this. Questions or commissions? And briefly describe. Okay. I mean, honestly, so a little information architecture piece. I would merge Let's Work and Who's Henry. Um, I would almost put them together because you link it out here. Just put it here. Maybe
Hmm.
it doesn't need to be this big of an element, but almost putting them together um, and calling that out, I think would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be cool.
I also don't know if this white space is all needed, like all of this white space. It feels a little bit big
On
at
the
the top
top,
of this.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the same case here. You don't have it here, but on these 2 pages, I would almost get rid of it. But if you merge them, then you could do that. So that's, I
Hmm.
guess, one comment. Then you'll have these 3 links here, and I think I like just keeping it simple. Like, what are you trying to communicate? I would almost the other like minor piece. So this logo, I almost want to say maybe you want to play with the shape a little bit. So the form is really nice, but I almost think the
Hmm.
padding between the letters and the container is a bit tight, especially on the left and
Yeah.
right side. Like give it a little bit of
Right.
breathing room. Maybe make your dot like full width SDR. Like you've intentionally made this 2 by 3 grid, so maybe like call it out and make the dot big and
Hmm.
profound.
Yeah, that'd
Um,
be an interesting.
so maybe play with that a little bit just to crisp it up just a bit. And then again, you can use this mark as we mentioned on Birdie's thing. You can use it on your resume or whatever, business cards,
Hmm.
as a call out like this is me, this is my identity, kind of thing. So,
Right.
and I guess you can never get back to that homepage, or can you? Oh, you click the logo.
If you click on the Henry,
Okay.
yeah.
I almost wonder if you could just take this little intro, if you wanted like a one-liner intro, and put that on the portfolio page, and make the portfolio page my homepage, and just put it up top.
That honestly, that could work.
I think that
That
would
could
be
work.
better because I get,
Unless Henry decides to add more kind of textual content. I mean, he could start with the who is Henry as well,
yeah,
but at this point, if you have a 1-2 liner over the portfolio, that gets straight to the point really quick, which is nice.
yeah, that I would, yeah, I think those are two good options. Either take the one-liner, put it on the portfolio page, and make the portfolio the homepage, or if you're going to add more, make your about page, which is this who is page, that home, like that opening page, um, and that would be nice because like this this intro, like we said, right? You
Mm-hmm.
you say what you're trying to do, and if you pair that with these imagery, like I can get your vibe a little bit more, which is what you want. Like you want me to buy in, get in, play, see what it is, and like move forward quickly. So
Yeah. Yep.
cool. That's all I have. So hopefully, Henry, that was helpful. Um,
Yep.
let us know how
Yep.
it goes.
Have fun. It'll be good.
Okay, I guess the last piece, which is a different piece altogether, it's this graphic owl. So now we can both play in Figma. Um, let's read a little bit about it. So it's a logo for a paint shop for contractors and DIYs alike, having a wide range of product selections such as finishes, colors, as well as all the equipment you need, brushes and rollers. This is fresh and innovative. Okay.
I'd like to use that kind of around corner.
Create original app design, working color, branding. Cool. Okay. So I want to, if it turns out well, I want to develop it for a strong portfolio piece. Okay. That seems fair to me. So I guess first off, it's cute. I like it. I would be curious if this
Yep.
is like a logo. What's the one color version look like?
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Yep. Doesn't
like,
read well with one color.
yeah. And like, I wonder if, yeah, one color would be good. I think I would like to see a brand guide with this as well. Um, alongside when you do your portfolio piece, like here's our brand colors. This is how we plan to use it in the application. This is our like
Mm-hmm.
action color. This is our secondary, whatever. Because I don't really know what the primary and secondary is here. I would imagine it's either this orangey color and this sort of deep blue. I would imagine those are the primary, and then the tertiary would be this blue. But
Yeah.
there is not. It's not apparently clear.
Right. 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 Two other things right off the bat I would try an iteration with is getting rid of the feet just to see will this read the same, if not better, with just the owl over the brush.
Yep.
And then the corners here are a tad sharp. I can see kind of where you added uh, that vector to make it work, but it seems a bit too quote unquote evil.
Mm,
It's like too horn like from a character point of view. Everything else is friendly. If I cover my thumb over the ears, he looks like a friendly little owl. But if I expose those two point edges, it seems more devilish.
yep. No, I agree. I think the other minor thing, like just when you're doing this kind of graphic work, check your shapes. Like this right wing seems to have been shifted out a couple pixels because it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's right
line up.
here.
Like it doesn't line up. So just a couple things to check. And it seems like maybe this
The left
edge,
one is better.
yeah, the left one lines up perfectly. So I think it just got shifted at some point.
Right.
Um, like these edges feel nice, like how it just sort of smooths together. That's pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a tiny bit you can mess with, but other than that, it's pretty great. Um,
This little triangle thing here, I would say either center it or move it down just a hair more. It's a little slightly too close to center
mm,
for me to feel comfortable.
yeah, no, I think that's good. Like either
Put it like
completely,
down here.
like intentionally off center, move it down here, or make it dead center. Or you may not even need it. You could simplify
Yeah.
it.
I think the type works pretty well with this.
Yeah, I do too.
It's kind of got the hand painted texture to it, which I'm assuming he was trying to go with. Each of these has a very paintbrushy feel to it, slightly off kilter in a fun way, but also pretty straight and has sharp corners, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is pretty clean. I think I guess when you're thinking about this as a branding element for a bigger application or that kind of thing, like what's unique about this service over all the other paint services? So there's obviously paint you can get from stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, like your home goods stores or your home improvement stores. But there's also companies like PPG Paints, Behr, etc., and they have their own sort of system to buy paint. So like, what's unique about getting paint from you? Is this supposed to be just sort of like your neighborhood paint shop, or if you're really thinking about this app, it's probably more than that? And what makes that experience unique to you? Think about those kind of things, because I don't know right off the bat, just based on your description. I think that's all I have to say. I don't know if there's anything much more. Let's see. I'm gonna look at this description once again. I think this is a good start, right? Like you're using a typeface,
Yeah.
you're not messing with it too much. It's clean, consistent colors. Um, Maybe you want to try a version where like you have a left and right lockup rather than just a top and bottom. So meaning the logo sits next to the type, and rather than just up and down. Maybe something to play with.
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah, yeah. On that regard, something to keep in mind is the scale. If it's going to be on the left of Paintwise, and it's going to be on a print piece or other digital piece, it's likely to be much smaller. In its current state, it might not read so well when it's that small. So perhaps finding a ways of either simplifying, like maybe remove one of the colors to see if you can get the same point across, or adding some more white space between the elements. Which is one of the reasons why I said try one without the legs, because if this were really small, the legs might look very odd.
yeah, that's a good point. Scale is important, right? Like you can't necessarily take the same object and just scale it down, and it's not the same legibility.
Yeah,
You'll notice this in a lot of websites actually. They have a simplified version of the logo for their fave icon. You know, the icon that shows up in your browser tabs versus
yeah,
the one on their homepage, just so that you can read it better. So that's a good thing to consider.
yeah, yeah. And my favorite quick and dirty way to proto this is literally just scale it a bunch of times on Illustrator on an 8.5 by 11, click
Yeah.
print, and see how they translate out to actual print. Because when we're designing logos and type, we often get caught up in vector land, where we can zoom in as much as we want, that we don't really know how this feels out in print.
Yeah. Hey Albert, can you just move your cursor off the artboard for a second? I
Yeah.
just zoomed out really far, like right there, right? I can't
Mm-hmm.
distinguish the nose and I don't know, the blue section across the eyes. Like at this scale, I'm like, I don't know how far zoomed out I am, but it's probably like an inch or half an inch on my screen, to me.
Yeah.
So even that's like even that level of detail, you can be like, oh, I zoomed out, I physically moved back from it. Here's what I see,
Yeah.
here's what I don't see. So good thing to just try that way.
Yeah, and like right off the bat, the things I would try as a result of what Rayhan just did is remove the blues and make them that same gray blue for both the handle and this, and see if you can get away with just this gray blue tone and the orange.
Yeah, I would agree.
And will the owl read the same without the nose? I don't know. Maybe it does need it, but
Yeah,
well, it is the beak, I guess. Mouse
right.
that knows.
And all these things we're talking about, as we mentioned on the other two sites, great way to showcase process in your portfolio if you plan to put this there. Like take these iterations, push them there, and say why you made those changes.
Yep.
Scale, those kinds of things, simplification, printing methods, etc. Those are part of the reasons, right? So all recommendations on how to utilize that work and document what you've done as a way to bolster your portfolio.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's all I got.
Same here. think that's all the work for today. Thanks for submitting stuff, and thanks Albert
Yeah,
for joining me on this little fun exploration of trying to
thanks for the invite, Rehan.
sort out YouTube Live and
Oh, good
share.
timing. The dogs are barking in the background.
Cool. Cool. Thanks, YouTube peeps. I'm gonna finish the stream now, so we're gonna end that one and enjoy. Have a good one.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.